In terms of technical know-how, support for technical know-how, support for funding, support for the security, all these are some international responsibility that they already have accepted that responsibility. So these are some of the challenges. There are many, but these are the most important ones. The economy of Somalia has been an informal economy for a long time. It has been informal. Institutions that are running the economic exercise was not there or were very weak. So this is the only time now we have established those institutions back. Have a serious public financial reform in the country. The banking system, everything now is improving and progressing. For the first time in 25 years, last year, 2014, was the first time that the IMF has produced economic performance of Somalia in terms of the payment of balance of payment, and in terms of how the economy is getting up shape from the ground. And that was not, the indicators were not bad. They were very encouraging that Somalia is making a lot of exporting goods and products, in agricultural products. So that was that. And recently, in order to Somalia to have access for the economic development, sorry, Somalia is working with the International Monetary Fund for the arrear clearance. There are almost $5 billion of arrears in Somalia. So unless we clear those arrears, Somalia will not access the international financing institutions' facilities. So we're working with the International Monetary Fund to address those issues. Somalia has now closed Chapter 4 assessment, and we are moving forward to a staff monitoring stage, which already started and going on. And there was interim report that has been produced by the IMF recently, last week, available on the IMF website, and indicates that the kind of progress we made in the economic sector and in the reform sector, and the challenges we're having is also indicated there for the group. But here, there are a number of challenges that are recently affecting the Somali economy, particularly the lowest level, the life of the people. The challenge, the international pressure on the remittance is one of them, because Somalia receives more than $1.5 billion remittance per year. So the flow of the remittance has been restricted, and that's proving economic challenge to the country as a whole. The scarcity or the lack of the currency, Somali shilling. Somali shilling has got too old and it's too new, so the availability of Somali shilling is a problem. It made our economy dollarized or a virtual mobile money. And instead of so, this is again putting some restraint on the economy. The infrastructure, the lack of the infrastructure is another one, because the movement of goods to the different destinations, accessibility of the farming areas, accessibility of the major markets, accessibility of the export exit areas. These are restrictions for the economic improvement in Somalia. But even then, with all these difficulties in place, still the economy is improving. Last year, Somalia has exported 5 million heads of livestock, the largest in the recent times, and it's one of the largest livestock exports. Similarly, hides and skins, agricultural products, marine products, so many things have been exported from this country. So the country is gradually coming back with all these challenges in place. There are international procedures on the area clearance. The issue of clearing the areas itself is not difficult, but what's difficult is how the country become eligible to go into that process. So our challenge is how can we make Somalia fit to that category of area clearance and joining the HIBIC program of the World Bank, so that Somalia will have access to the resources it can do. So the challenge is here in Somalia, building institutions, the legal necessary framework, improving the transparency, the accountability of the institutions, and putting the systems in place. That's what's so a country that has been without a system for such a long time, bringing back the system is a little bit proving a bit difficult, but we're progressing, and the international community is witnessing and certifying Somalia is progressing, but not reached the final destination. The message is Somalia is a very rich country in terms of all indicators. And there is a lot of opportunity. Every sector here in Somalia is an opportunity. And this is the time the country is becoming a federal country. This is the time the country is becoming more of market-oriented, open market, free market. This country is resourceful. And there's a lot of attractive opportunities here in Somalia. And what we are trying to convince investors is the first come, first serve approach is here in Somalia. Those who come at these difficult times, of course, will have privileges and preferential treatment compared to those that will come the day Somalia is fully stable. So there is a lot of people who are now attracted to come in the tourist industry, in the mining industry, in the marine industry, in the service industry. A lot of private hospitals, private university schools are mushrooming here in Somalia. So there is in the meantime, we're building a robust regimes that supports the investment law, Somali petroleum and minerals law, Somali, you name it. We're building the necessary regimes for attracting the investment. So we're building our public finance on one hand, we're building on other the legal framework that for the investment, we are securing the land, and every other day the opportunities that are available in Somalia is becoming more and more clearer and more attractive to the investors. And there are a set of international conferences for the investment of Somalia, which is coming this year. The remaining months of the year, maybe we are going to have 2 conferences, and next year there are others. So it's moving. There is a very good dialogue between Somalia and the potential investors that we can have. Somalia is now 55 years old, but practically and literally, we can say we are 30 years old, because the last 25 years was not 25 years that was very good for an independence of Somalia, sovereignty of Somalia, and the people of Somalia. My message to my people and to the rest of the world is we are engaged and vigorously working on bringing back the Somali people, back Somalis to Somalia, to build this country. We believe that it is the Somalis only who can build the country. The world can play a supportive role, which they have played. I'm very glad that the international community as a whole have played a major role here in Somalia. Of course, millions have been saved because of the international support and international interventions. Until today, still the international community is here to support Somalia. But that's their role, supportive role. But the real role for the rebuilding this country lies on the shoulders of the Somalis. So I would like to say to my fellow countrymen and women, those who are outside Somalia, to come back and work here. Yes, environment is difficult. There are a lot of challenges in the ground, but even then, this is the only country that we have. Let us get back and work together to build that. That's those who are outside Somalia. Those who are inside Somalia, including the politicians and everybody, I say we don't have the leisure of time to play around. We need to focus on those priority areas, priority legislations, priority projects and programs that bring Somalia back. We should not waste our time with those issues and cultures and practices that we have been using in the last 25 years and that has been kept Somalia where it is today for a quarter of a century. We should not entertain those cultures and behaviors. We need to be very tolerant. We need to be very hardworking. We need to be very open to dialogue, and we need to be forgiving to the others. Then only we can build the Somalia that we're dreaming. And I'm sure we have all the signs that we can build that Somalia.